Hi, my name's Kaz and I've got Parkinson's. Um, I didn't do a video yesterday because the other thing that you have to understand about Parkinson's is that it causes depression and anxiety, and sometimes you do have really bad days, and my tablets wasn't working all day, and the kids are on the summer holiday now, and couldn't join in like I wanted to, so it made me very down. And this is the reality of living with Parkinson's. One minute you can feel right up here, and the next minute you're down there, because it does affect every aspect of your life, and you do so want it to go back to normal, but that's not going to happen. So you've just got to take a big deep breath on a bad day and just get through it and hope the next day will be a better one. So I'm talking quietly because obviously everybody's asleep here. It's 7:20 in the morning here, and obviously everybody's asleep apart from Ziggy, my dog. But yeah, I just wanted to make a point that even though some days you'll see me baking and doing different things, and it's not always like that. I mean, I love baking and it usually cheers me up, but not yesterday. We have booked a nice weekend away in September, but but hopefully, all being well, I'll be okay for that. So, I just miss being able to go on long walks, and I haven't been able to go on a plane or do anything like that with my children. One of my children, Gwendolyn, she absolutely loves ABBA, Mamma Mia, and I'd love to take her to Greece, and one day I hopefully will. It's very difficult. I mean, they always say it doesn't matter, Mum, we love you, Mum, and I know they do, but as a mum, you want to give them so much more. You feel you're letting them down, and but it's part of that. I mean, I've just turned 50, and I know that doesn't sound, very old, but I, I just feel I'm too young. Let's put it that way to not be able to go out and do things. Losing your independence is a pretty hard thing to take, and like I said before, I didn't have a care in the world. You used to come and go and do whatever you needed to do, and and you didn't think about not being able to do it because walking's like second nature. When you suddenly freeze and your feet stick to the floor, because that's what happens. I can be fine one minute and the next minute I can't move my legs, and I'm trying to tell my brain, come on, pick your feet up, and then my kids will walk in and they see me crawling across the floor and they say, what are you doing, Mum? And I say, yeah, but it's safer than falling. It's really hard, and if you don't know anyone with Parkinson's, it's you wouldn't realise, I mean, it's just difficult. I mean, even the ones that live, love you, like, they don't realise. I mean, luckily they just see Mum, they don't see the disease, but it just breaks my heart not being able to do the things I want to do, but well, anyway, yesterday was a really bad day, and hopefully, in a couple of hours, I'll feel a lot better, and I'll be able to go out and do things. So, I think it didn't help with phoning that man at the hospital and him telling me, that I wasn't on his list. Well, it's a bit of a shock, so hopefully someone will get back to me. I mean, it's Saturday today, so no one will today, but hopefully on Monday or Tuesday, somebody will. But, I do try to stay positive, and sometimes on Facebook I post things, like inspirational quotes and things like that, just to give people a lift, because, it is very, very hard, living with this disease, especially when you've got children. But I won't go on too long, because obviously I know it's important that it brings awareness, and and people see all sides of it. I don't want to get anybody down, because it's very hard. But anyway, what I shall do is I shall finish now, and then hopefully later, I shall be feeling a lot better, and I shall, hopefully have something happy to say. Okay, take care for now. I'll speak to you again soon. Okay, bye. Hi, I'm back again. I just wanted to mention a couple of other things before I go and take another tablet and hopefully feel better. Ways of tackling different things. I mean, when my tablets aren't working, I know it sounds silly, but I can't get out of my chair, and so what I do is I climb onto the floor and pull myself up, and then I can get going. It sounds a little bit, daft, but I'm going to be getting a new chair soon, which will be lovely, which will help no end for the times that I'm off, because it's an electric chair, and it sits in the living room, and has like a remote control, so when my tablets aren't working, it literally stands me up, and then I can hopefully put one step in front of the other. but yeah, and then it'll sit me back down, and that'll help immensely. You can hear the dog playing with his toy. It's squeaking. But yeah, it's just a few things that I find ways of helping. It's like when my tablets don't work, I can't carry anything. I can't feel anything in my fingers, or I don't have feeling in my fingers. So trying to pick things up or carry things, I can't even carry my glasses or my phone. I have to get my husband or my daughter to carry them in the room for me, because I'll just drop everything, because trying to concentrate on walking and carrying, I can't do two things at once. It's like I have no use of my arms whatsoever. It's just a really weird sensation. Everything just switches off, and it's just very difficult, at all. I mean, what I'll do is next time it happens, I'll see if my husband can film me, and then that way you can see just how hard it is. It's not a pretty sight by all means, but it's just reality of living with Parkinson's. It's not easy. I mean, when it happens in a supermarket, I have to hold on to a trolley and hope I can put one leg in front of the other. I do have a wheelchair. I take out, because I enjoy going to concerts and things with my daughter. We went to a lovely one at a race course about a month ago, Scouting for Girls. I don't know if anyone's heard of them, but they're really good. And, we enjoyed it immensely. And then I took her to the castle, Lincoln Castle, and we saw Ollie Murs. So that was really good. I mean, years ago when I was younger, many moons ago, I used to go to big concerts, like see Bon Jovi and excuse me, you see like bands like Bon Jovi and Skid Row, and I used to be into like not heavy metal, but things like that. And I miss doing things like that. But I'd love to go to America one day and see some of my favourite bands that live over there. In fact, my favourite singer, Sebastian Bach, excuse me, lives in comes from Canada, Toronto. He was the lead singer of Skid Row, and just to be able to meet someone like that would be amazing. But anyway, that was when I was, young, and things didn't worry me so much. Now I have to do things on the spare at the moment, because if I put too much thought into things, I don't do it. So, excuse me. Sorry about that. That's the other thing with Parkinson's. All the tablets give you a very dry mouth. It's a side effect, and so you're constantly drinking or sucking sweets, which the dentist isn't happy about because they ruin your teeth. But there's not a lot you can do about that, because but yeah, I just wanted to make a few points on things that make it a little bit easier for me, like the chair that I'm going to be getting. I've got a wheelchair, a perch installing, things like that. Things I found that very hard to accept, because when you accept things like that, excuse me a minute, sorry about that, my dog was chewing my shoe. He's a little monkey for that. He chews everything. But anyway, yeah, so I've got a few gadgets. I do find it hard to accept help, because I've always been a very independent person, and this disease takes all that away, because you suddenly find yourself in situations where you do need help, and you have to learn to ask for it. Because if not, I had a very bad fall once and blacked all my face, and made a right mess of myself. But so I had to learn to make sure somebody's with me when I go out, even in the car. I have to have somebody with me, because if my tablets switch off, I need help. So anyway, like I say, hopefully in the next video I'll be a bit happier. I'll be doing something, but this isn't about happiness. This is about awareness, that people living with Parkinson's, it's hard, and it is like a roller coaster of emotions, and I've probably said this before, but one minute you're up, and the next minute you're down, and today I still feel a bit down, and I try and stay positive. My children are lovely, my husband's lovely, and my dog's really annoying me at the minute. Keeps trying to get my shoe. But yeah, I do try and stay positive, but it's not always easy, because this isn't an easy disease, and I'm 50-50. I sort of accept it 80%, but there's 20% of me that doesn't want to accept it, I don't want to finish on a sad note, but I wish I would wake up, be my old self, I'd give anything to have that old Karen back, but hey ho, this is the new me, and this is what I'm dealing with. So anyway, bye for now, and I shall hopefully upload something a little bit different later. Okay, bye.